My problem is not with the curse words. I was anyways beeping them. My problem is with words like bitch. See, Kambaktish. Count the number of times he calls her a bitch.
Uneducated, filthy lout.
Shut up, you stuck-up, uptight little bitch.
Dog.
Bitch.
My problem is with ass. Okay, my problem is with boobs. You know, not many people know boobs is a word of proper English originated in 17th century. It's not derogatory. Boobies is derogatory. Tits is derogatory. Boobs is not. You know, Hindi में मूत, Urdu में पेशाब, Sanskrit में मूत. I've said it time and again. Find me another word for it. Don't tell me to mute तेरी माँ की चूड़ी में माँ बीप कर दो. Okay, and then pass भाग डी के बोस, डी के बोस, डी के बोस, डी के बोस, डी के. I'm not a fool. My problem is that I was paying the price of people being uneducated.
We have today the writer-director of Pyaar Ka Punchnama that has been getting more or less good reviews, and people whoever have watched it have liked it. Most of them, in fact. And let's hear what Luv Ranjan has to say. Pleasure having you on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
Thank you.
When I was watching the film, the first experience was of the first half itself that many of the things are so identifiable. Why has no one ever said it before?
They're too scared. Nobody wants to burn his house. And
my wife does not watch this.
Nobody wants to sleep on the sofa.
Okay, but you know, I read one of the reviews and it says that the writer-director, he must have had really some bad experiences with women to have written in this manner.
I disagree with it because I believe that, you know, if you go through an experience yourself, then you lose the objectivity needed to make a film on it.
Right.
You know, it's like this, when someone slips, he feels the pain, but the man watching is laughing. Right. So I'm that man who's watching and laughing.
I'm sleepy.
प्रिया, ये कुछ ज़्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंट नहीं है?
Vicky, please don't tell me what to wear. It's my space.
That's easier said than done. Many of the things it seem that इतना बारीकी से experience कैसे आप कर सकते हो? Because many of the experiences that you say, that is something that I think are very universal, and one has to really have a certain, because especially the monologue, Rajat's monologue in the film, it's like it's coming बिल्कुल दिल से आ रहा है एकदम चीज़.
नहीं तो वही तो बात है ना कि वो लिखना एक्चुअली सच्चाई ये है कि अगर आप वो तमीज़ से सोच के देखो तो वो कोई भी मर्द लिख सकता है. मेरा ये मानना है कि बस मैंने लिख दिया है. लेकिन अगर आप चार दोस्तों को आपस में बात करते सुनो, ठीक है, और चार बीवियों से लड़ाई होने के बाद या गर्लफ्रेंड से लड़ाई होने के बाद दारू पिए हुए चार लोगों को बात करते सुनो, आपका 4 पेज का मोनोलॉग लिख जाएगा. तो वो बात है. तो उसके लिए एक्सपीरियंस की ज़रूरत नहीं है. उसके लिए तो बस अगर आपने औरतों को झेला है, थोड़ा बहुत भी आपके दोस्तों ने झेला है, आपने झेले हुए दोस्तों से के साथ बैठ के दारू पिए, तो यानी आप लिख सकते हैं.
इसने मारी आज तेरी.
अरे वही साली मैनेजर 2 टके की लिपस्टिक लगा के मैनेजर बन गई है.
बंद गया पट्टा, देखो बन गया कुत्ता. बांस का पट्टा, देखो बन गया कुत्ता.
You had totally new star cast, some nice songs in the film as well, and the entire build-up and everything, the camaraderie between the boys, I think is fabulous as well. But there has been criticism of the excessive length of the film, that maybe it could have been slightly more trimmed down.
See, the length is a very subjective issue. See, what happens is with length is that it's a very thin line. Had I made this film 10 minutes shorter, the same people would have come up and said that he didn't know how to finish the stories. You know, the same people would have said that he didn't know how to finish the stories.
Right.
Okay. Now that I've finished the stories properly, okay, now they're saying it's lengthy. You know, I have realized that over a period of time, the Indian audiences especially has developed this tendency of, you know, when they can't find anything wrong with the film, it's long.
You know, that is okay. That is your perspective, but the general perception has been certain perception. I wouldn't say the general perception, but that beyond a point in the second half, those entire sequences between Liquid and Rajat and Chaudhary, they tend to get a bit too repetitive in the sense that there's not much happening over there.
When I wrote the script, I was very clear about the fact that it will have repetitions.
Okay.
My producers knew it. Everyone knew it. I mean, my actors asked me the same thing, that why is there a certain repetition there? The point is that if there is no repetition there, then the fact that it's happening for a long period of time does not get established. If you realize,
Acha, like that, okay.
if you realize there are not too many repetitions, it's just that the same things happen a couple of times. Okay. Also, there is a phase in the film in the second half which not many people have been able to identify.
Right.
See, I have shown my film almost has, if you think about it, 85 to 90 minutes of great humor.
Right. Okay. I agree with that.
Okay. Also, what happens is that after when you have come from 90 minutes of great humor, anything slightly serious, you get a little uneasy with it. If my film was only 50 minutes of humor, they would have been far more comfortable with it. Okay. Now, from humor to hardcore drama, pathos, there was a phase in between which was more about the irony of the whole thing.
Right.
Okay, which was not so sad, but it was not funny. Okay, which was the bridge which I loved most, to be honest. Okay, so I kept that. Okay, if you see the review of The Hindu by Sudesh Kamath, I think he's one man who has really hit the nail on its head. Everyone is talking about the first half. Okay, everyone is talking about the humor. He's a man who talks about the intention of the film. And honestly, I was very happy when I read it, because when I narrated the film to my DP, okay, and my associate, I was not making the first half. The first half is to keep the people entertained. Okay. The film is the second half. The issue is the second half. The sensitivity is the second half. I didn't want to make a frivolous film out of it. It was very easy for me. If you think about it, if I could write 90 minutes of humor, I can write 120 minutes of humor as well. I could have very well finished the film in 120 minutes with hardcore humor and got out of it, and everyone would be very happy. But the point is that I would be very dissatisfied with the fact that I have not told a story. Right. I have not conveyed anything. It's not only about presenting a point of view of men. Okay, it's not only about making people laugh by showing how men are the tortured ones. I have always maintained that my film is somewhere a satire on modern relationships. Right. And modern relationships are not frivolous.
Some say that they are much more frivolous than what it was.
Point. They're frivolous, and people say that they're frivolous.
They're very short. They're very
short term. That is the reason I say they're not frivolous. They're more complex. The problems, the stress in modern relationships is so high that their life is less, but they're not frivolous by any means. In the sense that a lot of people look at it with a frivolous attitude, but they're very complex. There are things that need to be told. It's not like, for example, the boys in my film are not henpecked.
Right. But they are, in fact.
No. That's
more or less they become, in fact.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, that they're not. In the sense that, after hundreds of years of dominating women, suddenly there was a generation which was raised in a manner by their mothers, telling them that, it's nice and it's right to treat women equally. And in that effort to treat them equally and being nice to them, we ended up overdoing it.
Now this is coming from personal experience, boss. Now he's getting there.
लड़कों की ना एक यूनियन बनानी चाहिए, जिसमें ना कोई लड़की अगर किसी लड़के को छोड़ेगी, उस लड़की को कोई लड़का अगले 2 साल तक हाथ नहीं लगाएगा, फिर देख।
इश्क न करियो काके, दिल की बात न सुनियो काके, इश्क दी कली टिकड़ न कटी, इश्क आउंदे बड़े से आपे।
Now, I think you have a problem with the censor board, and I think some of it seems to be genuine as well. Many of the words they have been beeped out, and it seems very frivolous that why certain words, many of them they are really frivolous the way they've been beeped out.
I'll tell you what,
it just spoils the entire fun of watching.
Most of the words I beeped myself. Okay. Most of them, but they were most of the abuses. I mean, I don't want to have words like.
You wanted a certificate, or you were
US
comfortable? You wanted a US certificate. You did not want a A certificate.
Because see, I was making a film with 6 newcomers. I needed a wider audience. Okay, and it's a big budget film. So, but my problem is not with the curse words. I was anyways beeping them. My problem is with words like bitch. You see Kambaktish. Count the number of times he calls her a bitch. Okay, my problem is with ass. Okay, my problem is with boobs. Not many people know boobs is a word of proper English originated in 17th century. It's not derogatory. Boobies is derogatory. Tits is derogatory. Boobs is not. Right. So my problem is that I was paying the price of people being uneducated.
And you also said that that bigger names they get away. But
they do get away. See, if you think about it, they have a problem with moot. Hindi mein moot, Urdu mein peshab, Sanskrit mein moot. I've said it time and again. Find me another word for it. What are you? You are ashamed of your own mother tongue in your own country. Okay. Now my problem is that when in a film like Luv Ka Diyan, just because it's backed by Yash Raj, you pass things like Slutty Savitri. I mean, Slutty Savitri, and nobody takes an objection to it. Forget a UA, in a film it cannot be passed. If you think about the figure Savitri is in Hindu mythology.
Right.
Okay. You pass things like, sweet innocent virgin ki loge to 1,000 points milenge. You pass things like a teacher making out with a minor in a library and adjusting her pallu with her cleavage showing. You pass things like phrases like turn on, hona. If you pass that and you're showing they're minors. My problem is that you tell me these are the guidelines and we'll rate it, we'll give a rating according to the guidelines. I'll accept it. But don't be biased. Don't tell me to mute teri maa ki chudi mein maa beep kar do. Okay, and then pass bhag DK boss, DK boss, DK boss, DK boss, DK. I'm not a fool.
But what is wrong in DK Bose?
See, there's nothing wrong in DK Bose. If the song was Bhag DK Bose, Bhag DK Bose, Bhag DK Bose, it's cool. But when it's Bhag DK Bose, 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 DK. So let's be honest. I mean, even a 12-year-old knows what you're saying. It's a very common joke.
So you mean to say that basically that the censors they have their favorites and the newcomers
They don't have their favorites. When they can't exercise their muscle, they pass everything. They know if they, they won't take panga with Amir, because he has the power to call a media and have a conference and screw them. To be honest, in one of my trailers they had an objection with a plate, screw love. When you say screw love, screw word does not even have a sexual connotation. In Oxford Dictionary there are 16 usages of screw. Okay. And one of the ladies, members of the examining committee, she told me, why don't you make it true love? I was disgusted.
Luv Ranjan, what are your future plans after this?
I was supposed to start a film last year, since December 2009 with the same producers.
Okay.
With a bigger budget, and the logistical issue was that it was to be shot in winters in Delhi, and we couldn't start it in winters in Delhi, so I started writing this and made this. So hopefully this winter will be the winter for that film.
Fantastic. That was Luv Ranjan, definitely an innovative film that I think definitely is a part of the success stories of good different cinema coming out of Hindi films these days, not following the regular formula as we say, and the best part is it's totally new star cast and they have really performed very well. Thank you very much, Luv Ranjan. Lovely to have you, and we really hope that your film continues doing well at the box office, and looking forward to more stuff from you.
Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
इश्क नजरिया